Sellers, what's your reaction to Dale Thomas copping 2 weeks? Looks like you missed that first final.
Didn't know. Obviously, it's come out within the last hour or so, but oh look, it's good for us if that's the case. But it's just the way it goes sometimes.
How good a player is Dale Thomas? Do you think? How good a player?
Oh, great player for them. I think the last time he played us showed us how good he actually is, and if we don't have to worry about Dale in 2 weeks, that'd be great. But look, we got a game this week that we want to focus on and make sure that we get our form where it needs to be for the following week.
It's important to make sure that you maybe rest some guys so they're ready for the following week this week, or do you want to go in with everyone who's available to play? Yeah,
I don't think anyone will be giving up their spot round 24 with the finals of next week. Obviously, guys have played a fair bit of time throughout the year, but we know from the weekend's game that we've still got a fair bit to work on for where we want to get to, and you know, we're really happy that we've got another round to be able to tune ourselves up for the first final game.
Is it unusual for you guys to have a long meeting like that just then?
No, not really. It probably there was a couple of clips where it was a lot of discussion, but it wasn't you know, anything negative. It was just that's where football's gone. There's a lot of things that happen in the game. You just got to make sure you cover every area.
What are some of the things that you're going to try and work on this week?
Oh, just everything. We work on a lot of stuff every different week, and there's probably areas where the pressure was really good on the weekend, but there's areas where we probably just went away, and we had to just make sure we cover off on those areas.
When do you start looking at the Collingwood tapes?
Probably, yeah, when the final siren goes this week.
Is it hard for you guys to keep your mind on this week's game when you know you're playing Collingwood in 2 weeks?
No, you know, we're really looking forward to this week's game. Adelaide are in good form and gives us a good test at home before the following week occurs. So we're really looking forward to, you know, taking up the challenge of Adelaide. You know, they're very well structured through Neil Craig, and I think Mark Bigley's taken that over and got some good results as well. So going into the finals, it's a great opportunity to come up against a side that's in pretty good form.
Do you know where Kerr is at?
No, I don't. You know, you saw last week. We'll just wait and see. That's probably a medical one to weigh up whether that's a risk. But other than that, I think everyone's travelling pretty well.
Coxie's eye?
Yeah, well, it probably makes him look a little bit better, we reckon. So I don't think there'd be any issues there.
Is Josh rubbing it in at all?
Yeah, funny it's an eye. So yeah, oh, look, it's not as serious as Josh is, but I think that's a bit of karma coming back at Coxie.
You mentioned before that blokes might want to rest round 24. You're one of the guys who's played every game. How do you feel at this point of the year compared to previous years? Because there's been a lot of talk about guys feeling worse. Yeah,
no, I've been pretty lucky, obviously playing, you know, out of that back pocket or half back, not being around as many stoppages. My body's feeling pretty good. So there's usually some guys that take a bit more of the load and they're a bit more durable than others. And you know, myself, Lynchy, I think Shannon Hearn, we're those type of guys that you're able just to play that little bit longer on the field. And our body, I think we're all quite happy to keep going around again this week.
Can you sense the hype building already for that Collingwood game, the first final? Are people sort of already calling you up about tickets, or you just sense that there's a bit of excitement in the air?
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess you guys wish I'd say yes, but it's not. It's not the case. I mean, we set out before the season and there was 22 games to play, and you know, we've played 21 of them. We'll make sure that we tick off this week, make sure we play as best as we possibly can, and yeah, the hype comes after that, so there's no point getting too far ahead of ourselves and looking towards Collingwood. Doesn't matter that, you know, we don't change on the ladder. We understand as a playing group and coaches as well, it's really important for us to play well this week, you know, and not worry about anything else that's going on.
I know there's a lot of hard work ahead, but you must be pretty proud of finishing fourth.
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, from where we've come from, where we've got to is, you know, tremendous. But where we can go, we just don't know where we can go. We've got to make sure that we stay focused every week, and we'll sit down at the end of the season and figure out how far we've gone. But yeah, it's been a very big effort, and that doesn't say next year is going to be a success. We just got to make sure we make the most of the opportunities.
Do you reset goals for the finals?
No, our goal, if we made the finals, if we finished 8th, we'd be still trying to go as far as we can, and I'd imagine that's the same at 4th.
a lot of guys who haven't played finals yet. Would you get into them like now, or have you started talking about what to expect in September?
No, we haven't spoken about that. We might, there'll be some obviously guys who've played in the finals before. There might be some discussion, but as of this week, yeah, as I said, it's all Adelaide, and it's a home and away game this week.
So you still got work to do. So if you don't feel ready for the finals, if there's things you want to tinker with and make sure that as a team that you're on top of before you get through to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, if we had won by 10 goals on the weekend, we'd be still wanting to improve in certain areas, whether it's one area or another. There's always things to work on. So yeah, that's just the way that footy is, and guys just can't get ahead of themselves at all.
What about Masto's performance, Sellers? That add an extra dimension or an extra bit of pressure to the midfield because you've got Curry's out of the team, Masto's playing well, so there's real competition there?
Yeah, and that's what I guess good teams have, is that depth and that pressure for spots. Masto's worked really hard and probably had his critics along the way, and I think it's fantastic for him to get into that type of form late in the season, gives himself every opportunity to play finals, and also puts that pressure on everyone in the midfield to make sure they're playing top shelf footy, because there's going to be probably an unlucky bloke in a few weeks' time.
And what about Scott's development this year? Seems to be a tackling machine.
Yeah, I taught him most of that stuff. I just backed off now. He's taken most of that, but look, I've said it before, he's come a long way, and he just adds that little dimension in the group where he puts the pressure on, and he's the best in the comp at it, and we've got our free running midfielders that are able to get on the end of his good work in there.
Will Jack Darling play this weekend?
I'd imagine so. It's nothing serious with Jack, and I think having that week or two off, resting up, I'd imagine Jack would be back and want to get his spot back before next week's game.
So it was more just a rest last week?
He had a few little tinkering issues, but I guess as an 18-year-old playing 20 games and where he's come from, the intensity, it definitely won't hurt him having that week or two off.